Okay, so the very first program that we are going to do is we would be printing this simple pattern, right? The pattern number 1, right? It is a simple right angle triangle, if you can see, right? So that is what we would be printing, and we should ensure that our program is generic as in the number of rows can be variable, right? So a simple thing that we need to note in printing such patterns is that we need to take care of the spaces which are there on the left. Now, as we all know that whenever we print on the console, the print happens from left to right and then top to bottom. That is how it happens, right? So that is what we would focus on. The spaces in the pattern which we see on the right, they are of no use to us, right? Because there would always be spaces. But the spaces in a pattern which are on the left, right, we should always take care of that, and our focus should always be on these spaces, right? So having said that, right, let us try a very simple program. Right, now especially these star programs, printing star or printing any character for that matter in different rows, right, it follows a common standard or a common pattern. The first thing is that we should always have a loop for the rows, total number of rows which we are printing, right? So if n is the total number of rows which I am giving in, so my variable or the iterator for row, it would go from 1 to n, right? And each row, in each row we would be printing either spaces or we would be printing stars. That is what we would do. The spaces which we would be printing would always be spaces on the left and not the spaces on the right, right? And after the spaces are printed, we would print the character, that is the star, right? So for each row we should print the spaces first, and then we should print the star first, then we should print the star, and at the end of each iteration we should print a new line so that it goes into the next row, right? Now for this specific pattern, the first pattern that we see, right, in every row, right, there is no space, right? So on the left there won't be any space, so we should always take care of that. So here if we see that I am giving a space wala loop, and in that loop what I am doing is I am saying space equals to 1, space less than equals to 0, space plus plus. Now this specifically is for not printing any space, but I am giving it here just so that it becomes a placeholder for it, right? So keep that thing in mind. And what it also shows is that if we analyze this properly, for row number 1 we have to print 1 star, for row number 2 2 stars, for row number 3 3 stars, and so on, right? So my star wala loop, it goes from 1 and it goes up till r, that is up till the roll number, and we print those many stars. That's what we do, right? This is pretty simple, right? I'll just compile it, and I have given input as 10. I'll run it and it should print 10 rows, right? It is fairly simple. Yes, excellent. Right, now one thing that you should always note in this is that whenever we are printing this pattern is directly coming from the first space in the screen, right? So it does not leave any spaces from the left side, right? So what if I have to print this pattern starting from 10th column, right? So for that what you should do is you should always give another variable and call it as offset, right? And take OF variable here, and you should always print that offset for every row. So you can say for OF equals to 1, OF less than equals to offset OF plus plus, right? And internally you should simply print a space. That's what you should do, right? You'll understand why this offset is important. And I pass this 5 in it, right? So what it would mean is, it would start, our pattern would start printing from the 5th column instead of the first column. That's what it means, right? And it gave us an error because right. So if you can see, then we are leaving an offset of 5 spaces, so every row starts printing from the 5th column, right? Is this offset thing clear to you guys? This offset is very, very important going forward, right? Okay, great, okay.